Stimulating conversation and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
You ready?
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Rob Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
We're inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I'm your host, Robin Ayers, and I'm with you guys Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 on your drive home. Today, I am proud of you, Los Angeles. I don't know where y'all are at, but the traffic was not bad at all. Traffic was not bad at all. So shout out to you, Los Angeles, and that good traffic today. Happy Monday. It is a great, great, great Monday. I don't know if any of you have been watching on my socials, but I definitely posted some really great news. Congratulations to my baby girls, my daughters, Brooklyn and Madison. As you all know, they have announced their college. They are going off to college, and they will be in New York. So I guess that's going to be like second home for us. I mean, we'll see what's up. But anyway, congratulations to them. I think that is wonderful news, and you guys have been giving us so much love, so I appreciate that. What's up, Andy?
How much did their decision base on one of your daughter's name?
No, not at all. Even though we've heard it their entire lives. They're like, oh, y'all must be from New York. And I'm like, no, we're not. But, funny, people are picking up on that. They're like, oh, okay, Brooklyn and Madison. I get it, but it had nothing to do with that. But the school is amazing. So shout out to my baby girls. Listen, we don't have a lot in updates because I want to use this majority of the time for my special guest. As you guys have seen, we're going to get to her on the other side. She is here in the studio with me, and I am such a fan of this woman, and I'm so excited to have her here. So I'm not going to hold you all. We're going to get to that on the other side. You are listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
I'm Avery Wilson, and you're watching It's Robin Ayers.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you tired of being stuck without internet access? Connect and go with LA County Library. It's simple. Visit your local LA County Library location and borrow a hotspot for free to get Wi-Fi wherever you are.
On your period, sudden gushes happen without warning. But now, you can say goodbye to stand-up gush fears. Thanks to Always Ultra Thins with rapid dry technology. It absorbs gushes 2 times faster than the leading store brand and gives you up to 100% leak-free protection. Hello, clean and comfortable with Always Fear No Gush.
The Supplemental Security Income Program provides monthly payments to help meet basic needs, like putting food on the table, paying the rent, or buying new shoes for growing feet. You may qualify if your income and financial resources are low and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability or who is blind. Call 1-800-772-1213 or go to ssa.gov/SSI to start to apply. Produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Raw Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
All right. Welcome on in here to the Raw Report. As I mentioned to you guys, I am so extremely excited to talk to this beautiful, talented, extremely talented woman. She is killing the comedy game. Trust me when I tell you, I've not been brought to tears many times when it comes to laughing, but she has done that several times for me. And I don't say that a lot. I guarantee you I do not say that a lot. She has a background in life skills, coaching, and inmates on top of that, which is interesting. We're going to talk about that. To joining this comedy game with the giants like Tony Rock, D. Ray Davis, Bill Bellamy, Chelsea Handler, and more recently joining the tour, this year's tour, Katt Williams' Dark Matter tour. Okay, please help me welcome plus-size model, motivational speaker, actress, comedian, all of the things, Tacarra Williams. He already got it for you. Look, he already got it for you.
Twinsies, hey. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming to do the show with me. First off, how you doing?
You know what? I'm good. I don't have any complaints. My kids are good. Everybody's healthy. Life is good. It's going in a direction that I did not see it going. It's scary, but, you know, sometimes you just move.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're scared, you still got to move.
Yeah.
And it's not scary like, oh, goodness. It's scary as in everything seems like it's coming together.
Oh, okay.
And you're just waiting for that ball to drop.
Okay.
And you're trying not to have this idea. You know how things are just too good.
Yeah. I'm familiar. I'm familiar with that space. You like, okay, what's coming on the other side?
Yeah.
If it's going this good.
Yeah, it's a little anxiety, but I'm working through it.
Speaking of kids, you know, your kids are good, your family is good, and all of that. Speaking of that, can we...
This...
we getting it right, y'all. We getting it right. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. So we can get you.
Who that?
That is Andy. Andy, hey, DJ Andy. A+. Okay, that's Andy, our board op. Okay. He's trying to get you in camera. He's like, okay, we got to see you because you fine. You a plus size model.
I am. I did do that for a while and then I stopped.
Why did you stop? Because you can still do it. You know that, right?
I stopped because life was lifing.
Okay.
And I had to make some choices.
Okay.
And I said, this is fun, but, you know, I gotta pay my bills, you know, so I opted for that.
So I was telling you, you know, my kids are off to college now. You know what I'm saying? You have a daughter in college. I mean, can you give me any quick advice?
Not
really. Just let it be.
God damn. You know what? It's just, you know, it's, as a parent, it's been a journey just getting to completely understand that what's important to her has to be important to me. And sometimes as parents, we write off our kids, you know, what they want and what they like. We're just like, oh, it's not that bad, you know. Oh, it's not a big deal, and it is a big deal to them.
Absolutely.
It's not to us because we've been there, we did that, we've experienced
Absolutely.
it. But to them, it's their first time. It's a big deal. So me just taking that in and learning to just roll with her and her punches and what she's feeling, and just navigating college life and being by yourself and just figuring it out. Like she calls me all the time, and she's like, food costs money. And I'm like, yeah. Why does it cost so much money? Because it's different when you're spending your money. And just navigating that life with her and finding friends and watching her figure out who's a good person and who's a bad person and how to interject when people are not being nice to each other and what do you do as a friend to it's just a journey.
Oh, yeah.
Just watching her. But she's amazing. She's such a good kid. And I'm so blessed to have her. And she goes to college in New York. And, you know, at home, she's such a homebody in the house. But in New York, apparently, baby be outside. Like, not in a bad way. Just, you know, she's sometimes
liberated.
Sometimes I think she forget I follow her on Instagram, you know? And I'm like, what red light party you at?
Yeah. Make me book a flight.
Right. Can I go? You know what I'm saying? But it's a journey, and I'm excited for you to experience that with your. And you have twins.
Yes.
I'm a twin.
You're a twin.
Yeah. Are they identical?
They're fraternal.
So are we.
Okay. How was that experience?
My mom said we drove her crazy.
Really?
Yeah. And it was crazy because growing up, my sister was like the really like quiet, chill, you know, like type. And then I was like the loud and boisterous type. Okay. And then when we got into our like 20s, she turned into the loud, boisterous type. And then I became like the really chill, quiet type. And then now we've switched it again.
Yes.
Where now she's back to being like, I'm just gonna, you know. Yes. And now I'm like, argh. So
you know what?
It's wild.
We've said that my kids' entire lives, they've always switched. They've always, you know, just since we can remember, you know, dating back to being toddlers or whatever, one would step up, the other one would just become more reserved. And then, you know, so right now they're kind of in a little.
And interchanging.
Yes.
Now.
Yeah.
Isn't it wild?
It is super crazy to me to just kind of watch that. But I'm excited to see how that pans out and like what that adult life is going to be like. I'm excited
for them for college.
Definitely.
Keep your phone ringer on. They're going to call you.
I will. Okay.
And if they don't call you, it's okay. They're fine.
Okay.
They're fine.
Okay. Thank you for that. That's nice. That's a nice piece of advice.
You know, because in my head, it's been 48 hours. Where are you?
Yeah, right.
Doing homework. I'm sleeping. I'm tired.
I'm a student, Mom. I'm a student.
Oh, I checked your location. It didn't move because I didn't move. I'm tired. So it's just give them some patience, give them some grace, and they're okay.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me is
they're okay.
They're okay. Yeah. She's traveling. She's on the train. You know.
Yeah.
She's okay.
And she has to go out in life and I
mean, this is the part of life where you get to see if the values and all the stuff that you raise them, all these things that you raise them up in, these values and this love and this family, you get to see if it pays off. And you don't know, you won't know it until they're by themselves and they have to make those decisions without you. You know, like when everybody's doing something, I'm like, well, where you at? I came home. I'm like, where you come home? Because everybody was like smoking weed and drinking. And I'm like, that's ew. We're not even 21. What is y'all doing?
Wow.
And I'm like, what you did? I mean, I came home. What you doing? Eating?
Yeah.
Like, what are you eating? So first of all, don't judge me. I'm frying some chicken. I got some rice. I got some. It's 2:00 in the morning. What are you doing? It's not. This what she said. It's not crack. It's chicken. And in that moment, I'm like, okay, I did a good job.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Do your kids, now that you are, how long have you been in comedy? Because what was that switch over? You were a life skills coach.
No, I was a teacher. I was a preschool teacher first.
Okay.
And I went through like a really bad breakup. You know how women are, we go through breakup and we always sit down. If you're in a good space for healing, you got to figure out who was I before this relationship. And I'm sitting in there figuring, I'm like, who was I before this relationship? I always wanted to act. I was getting into acting before I met you. And we broke up, and then I went to this place in New Jersey for this acting gig. I didn't get it.
Okay.
It was a serious role. I had no idea what I was doing, and I made the role a comedic role. And they said, this is not supposed to be a comedic role. No, you didn't get the part, but this was funny, and you are naturally funny. You should be doing stand-up. So they set up a comedy thing for me that same night. They made a phone call and said, we got a spot for you at 8:00 in a spot in Harlem. Do you want to do it? And I'm like, what do I talk about? And they're like, we don't, just talk because you're just funny. Just go up there and talk. So I got there at 8:00. And when I got there, everybody from casting was there. It was insane.
What?
Yeah,
so they came to support and all of that.
Yeah, everybody from casting's there. And the guy comes up to me and he goes, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. And I'm like, okay. And what do I talk about? What do I talk about? You know, relationships. I just got out of one. So I went up there and I just started talking about how men break up differently than women break up and what that looks like. And everybody was laughing. And in my heart, I'm heartbroken. I'm like, this is not funny yet to me. But okay. And he leaves me up there for 8 minutes. He go up there, he leaves and smokes a blunt and forgets I'm on stage. Comes back 8 minutes later and takes me off stage. The crowd is howling. And then he goes, how long you been doing stand up? And I said, today's my first day.
Wow.
And he said, you were going to go so far if that was your first time on stage.
Wow.
And there were some people there who booked shows, and then they called me like that day before I even left. Hey, I got a show in Queens. You want to do it? It doesn't pay much. You want to? I'm like, okay, I'll do it. Then I do that show, and then before I know it, I'm booked. I'm all over New York. You know, within a matter of 6 months, I'm all over New York doing stand up. Wow. And then maybe a year in, I just decided New York wasn't big enough. And I had just gotten married at the time to my first husband. And I was like, I want more. And I came to LA to visit. And 6 months later, we moved out. And, you know, it was scary. We moved away from all of our family, all of our friends, and everybody in the comedy business. You know, the older generation was like, it ain't nothing out there in LA for you. And you're not going to make it. And we'll see you back here in 6 months. And I'm like, I got a degree in teaching. I'll get a job.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
you'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
And I started teaching in California, and I started teaching inmates across Southern California life skills, and I started teaching substance, alcohol abuse, domestic violence, parenting, and anger management. And it was really such a crazy job to have, because who signs up for that? I didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I went as a substitute teacher at a resource center. That's what I signed up for. And then when they ran my background and said, you have credentials in teaching, and I said, yeah. Do you want to be a full-time teacher? And I said, no, I'm doing comedy.
And it's going to pay off.
Yeah. So. And then she told me how much it paid, and I was like, yes.
Okay.
What is that, Delta Dental? Hell yeah. I want some Delta Dental. That's the best dental care you can get out there. Yeah. I don't even care about the job. Give me the dental. So I took it, and I wound up doing that for 5 years, and I fell in love with teaching inmates, more so because I grew up in the South Bronx in the projects, so I understood their lifestyle and their dynamic, and just why people make the decisions that they make. It may not make sense to you, but it makes sense. I know why you sell drugs. You know, I get why you got into that issue with the guy. I get why the women. I get why you might have sold a little booty. You know, I ain't gonna do it, but I get why you did it. You know, and just having that understanding and that dynamic, they loved me for it. Wow. And I got an opportunity to do a 30-minute special produced by Kevin Hart on Comedy Central. And once that aired, I had to choose. And it was like, as much as I love teaching. And
you had to choose, is that because everything at that point just started to speed up for you?
Yeah, because when you have a special come on Comedy Central, the comedy clubs want to book you for weekends. Now I'm flying out Thursday, to be there for a Friday show. Yeah. I'm missing Thursday and Friday work. I can't do that every weekend. Yep. No matter how much time off I have, I can't keep doing that. Yep. And then it was like, do I really want to? As much as I love teaching, that's not what I came out here for.
You really came out to LA for comedy.
Yeah. So I made the choice to step out on faith, and as scary as it was, I did. And one day I was sitting home and I wasn't getting I didn't have any bookings, and I was just nervous. And then I sat down and I talked to God, and God said, you know everybody that you need to know. And everybody that you need to know, they love you. Why are you sitting here waiting on somebody to call you? Put your pride to the side, humble yourself, and make those phone calls.
That's a word right there, Takara. That's a word.
And I started sending out those emails and those text messages.
I'm available. What do you
not
have?
Even just saying I'm
what
available. Just, hey.
Okay.
Long time no see. Oh, my God, I have not heard from you in so long. Crazy. I got this event coming up. I would love for you to... And then it just started rolling again. Slowly but surely it started rolling again. And now, even to this day, I'm humble enough to just be like, that's like Kim was just telling me. She said, I don't think you understand who you are. And I don't get it yet. But there's part of me that doesn't want to see that person I am yet, because I'm just so humbled and in my bubble.
A beautiful place to be. I know. I understand
I like being in this humbled bubble. I'm appreciative. Even when I'm on tour with Katt and I get off stage and people run into me, and I remember Katt said, "You a problem on the stage," and I said, "Thank you." He said, "Can you leave some for the rest of us?" And even he said, "Why you like that?" I said, "Cause I'm like this." When he's talking to me, he said, "Why you like that?" I said, "I'm just so humbled. I'm just like, I appreciate you. Thank you so much." And then I just go in like my little bubble and freak out like, oh. and then I'll come back.
Okay, so what does that feel like for, because, you know, in LA, you get a bunch of actors, you get a bunch of, you know, everybody who wants to be an artist, you know, someone. What does that feel like, especially comedy, too? That's a hard thing to do. I tried it. Takara, I tried it. I did it twice in my life.
What happened?
5 minute sets. I was actually pretty good, but you know what? I didn't have the courage. I didn't have the courage to continue. And also, I thought, I don't have enough content.
You do. Your mom to twins.
Right. But see, how do you turn everything into, well, that's what I have to talk to you about, because there was something that I watched of yours where you were actually talking about your time with the inmates and how you turned that into comedy. Yeah. You turned your kids into comedy. I mean, you don't turn them into comedy, but you use them in your comedy. Yeah. Did they ever mind? Did they ever say like, Mom, that was a low blow? Or
no,
do you talk to them beforehand?
I do. I ask. I think in the beginning I didn't ask. Okay. And then as they got older and the jokes became more you know, just out there, everybody started seeing them, I began to ask, because I had to understand that, yes, this is my life and this is my experience with my kids, but then they also have an experience with me. And I need permission to talk about this. You know, that's, you know, and I want to say my oldest daughter, at first, some of the stuff I talk about on stage in regards to her, I thought she would be so offended. And then she comes to the show and she watches it. So I always say how she talked like this. So, like, I mean, so, like, what you was on your little radio show, your little period. Look at my mom. So then I did that on stage, and she gets off, and she goes, and I was so nervous. She goes, so, like, do I really do that? Like, I really be talking like that? Like, oh, my God, I'm doing it. You be eating. So, but I had to check with her. So I do talk with my kids before I do certain jokes, because I don't want them to be offended. And also because their friends watch me. My daughter hated it. She said, can you make your profile private? I said, why? She said, everybody in my school follows you.
Oh, my goodness.
I said, what do you want me to do? She said, block them. I said, again, I don't even know who they are. Yeah. Give me your phone. Block them now. So even I can't post any pictures of my oldest daughter when she was young. Okay. She does not like that. But it's just a conversation. It's just communication, and seeing if they're okay with it. And then also, I'm a storyteller, which is what makes jokes easier to do. So if you tried stand up and you felt like I don't have enough content, it's because you're telling jokes. Don't tell jokes. Tell stories.
Got it.
You know, and if you listen to my content, it's just storytelling.
Yeah.
So
it's everything else about you, though, Takara.
Because it's mannerisms. It's get into the story. Yeah, I get into the, I get into the my daughter. She goes, so can I go to my friend party? And I'm like, well, who's your friend? I mean, if I tell you her, you don't even know her. I said, I don't care. Who is she? I mean, like, I guess I could tell you, because, like, you worried or whatever. So I tell her, and then she tells me the friend's name. I was like, okay, what y'all gonna do at the party? So I'm going to this party or whatever. Now listen, I'm grown. I said, you 19. That's grown. It's going to be marijuana. I said, it's going to be weed there. I mean, my birthday is on 4/20. Her birthday's 4/20. I said, so you going to smoke? No, I don't smoke. I like my lips. She said, I'm not going to smoke. I like my lips. Anyway, so I'm just letting you know that I'm going to go. And if I come home and I smell like weed or whatever, I'm not smoking. I do not smoke. But I do want to be around my friends. So I have to choose. You know what I'm saying? That's all she do. I hope they can see that. And I'm like, okay, go ahead and go. So when I talk about it on stage, oh no. And then they want to go to a strip club. They ain't got no money. They go to the ATM and take out $20 each. And they go ask the guy, can they get $20 in singles? She said, Mommy was at a strip club. I said, how was it? You know you got to pay them ladies. I say, it's a Casey. You shouldn't even be in there. Yeah. But I went because my friend, she turned 21 and she said she had a birthday party. She was going, so we went or whatever. So anyway, so we go there and they let us in. They felt sorry for us. They was like, let them in for free. They kids. Like they say first time. So we go in and the girl, she come dancing on us. I'm like, what she want from me? And then the guy was like, money. So as we all looking at each other. So he was like, we got an ATM. So she said, I go to the ATM, put my little pen in. And I'm embarrassed. I said, why? Because Mommy, I only took out $20. I said, why would you take out $20? She said, they don't tell you how much you got to pay them. you paid on what you want, right? I was like, yeah. So she takes the $20. She take it to the booth. They give her 20 singles, right?
Mm-hmm.
She don't want to. She said, I can't throw this money at the lady. That's so disrespectful. People just throwing money at her, hitting her with money. I said, how did you give her the money? She said, I walked up to her and I put it down. I said, that's for you. I said, how many times did you do that? She said, let's just say I still got $15. I said, you gave this lady $5 5 times you did this to her. And she said, and she nodded. Like, we had a, like, she knew I didn't want to be disrespectful.
Oh,
and you see,
my
it's just a
goodness.
story. I haven't told that on stage yet. That just happened. And I'm just telling it to you guys and everybody that's listening that my daughter gently slides dollars across the stage and pats it and makes eye contact. So you know that this is yours.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
It's just a story.
Brilliantly done. Brilliantly done, by the way. No lies. Seriously, that is. I think the funny part is that we can all
That's
relate.
how I'm going to slide you this quarter. Hey.
I know,
Hey,
and
girl.
yeah. That's for you.
That's for you. You thirsty?
The fact that we can all relate. Oh my goodness. I like to thank you for that. Listen, there's still so much to talk about with you. I'm hot. She done got me laughing and it's all the things, y'all. But there's still so much of your career that I want to talk about and how it's like your career took off like a rocket. You know what I mean? And so I need to know about that. We're going to talk all about that. And definitely want to talk about this Dark Matter tour.
Yes.
How that's going. Your tour, you have your own tour that's coming out. We're going to talk about all of that.
Yay.
Very, very, very soon on the other side of our commercial break. But I want to thank you for making me laugh.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I hope your daughter is watching. I hope your kids are watching. Do they watch everything that you do?
They do.
Okay. All right. Well, shout out to your kids. I don't know. You said
Chase, Casey, and Chris.
Chase, Casey, and Chris.
Chrissy, yep.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
We're going to talk more. You're going to have me laughing some more. I just know that you are. I know that you are. Right now, though, we've got news, traffic, and sports. You guys are listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl BB, and you're listening to me on the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of the Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A new report shows that solitary confinement in Illinois violates international human rights laws. The Chicago Lawyers Committee for a Civil Rights Study also recommends reducing or restricting the use of restrictive housing. They say the action would improve prison safety and inmates' health, limit costs, and cut down on recidivism. The report says hundreds of people at any one time are being held in solitary confinement statewide for spans from 10 days to more than 12 years. African Americans account for more than 70% of Illinois prisoners in solitary confinement. More than $2 million has been made available through the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development Operating Assistance Grant programs. Governor Moore, who is black, says the funds will be used to help local governments, communities, and nonprofits with their housing efforts. The Technical Assistance Grant and Main Street Improvement Program will accept applications through May 17th. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
We have an update coming from downtown on the 10 west of Central Avenue. An accident has 2 right lanes blocked. Right now, stop traffic is over 45 minutes from the 5101 interchange, and now fire crews are on scene, so please be advised and expect heavy delays into the evening. A rollover crash had CHP on scene, blocking the carpool lane involving this accident in Cerritos 91 West between Studebaker Road and the 605. Stop traffic continues up to 25 minutes from Valley View Street. In Westchester, on the 405 South at La Tierra Boulevard, watch for a 30-minute backup running stopped from Olympic. Pico Boulevard split as an accident blocks the right lane.
As humans, we like having options. One option you might like is speaking with a real person when you call about your credit card. With 24/7 live U.S.-based customer service from Discover, everyone can talk to a real person anytime, day or night. Limitations apply. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers might have an advantage heading into Game 5 tonight at Denver. Nuggets guard Jamal Murray is listed as questionable with a left calf strain. There's a good chance Murray will not play. The Lakers are down 3-1, but they have had their chances to flip this series. Of the 192 minutes played over the 4 games, the Lakers have had the lead in 136 of those minutes. That's 70% of the series where the Lakers have been up, including at halftime of each game. and a 20-point lead in Game 2. The Lakers do have something to build on for tonight if they can put together a complete game. Tip-off time tonight is 7 on TNT. When Clippers guard James Harden scored 33 points Sunday at Dallas, he became the first NBA player to drop 30 or more in a playoff game with 5 different teams. The Clippers, Oklahoma City, Houston, Philadelphia, and Brooklyn. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
It's the Farewell Tour. Maze featuring Frankie Beverly and KBLA wants to send you and the special mom in your life. Sunday, May 12th at the Kia Forum.
Make sure I'm right, girl, before I let go.
Also featuring soul icon Anthony Hamilton.
You the best of me. Amazing, amazing, amazing.
And After 7. It's a Mother's Day celebration you won't forget. Listen in for your chance to win tickets. And don't forget to wear white. It's the Farewell Tour with Maze featuring Frankie Beverly.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone, and should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Linking social justice and climate justice all year long.
We're unapologetically progressive.
KBLA Talk 1580.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on.
Who's got next?
And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
The biggest.
We could have.
Bryson. Your future's so bright. To fly. It's time to take them there, baby.
Maybach music.
Yo, big billionaire. Still got the Yale flying in from on the West Coast. Fleet of cars all red like this was death row. Keep it gangster, never singing like it's Danny Boy. All she seen was Givenchy soon as I ran up on her. Beginning what you eat, I'ma change your lifestyle. Lamborghini at Checkers, a nigga iced out.
You were inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Listen, if you are just joining us and you hear my voice sounds crazy, it's because I was rolling right now. I was rolling at my very special guest, Tacarra Williams, who just has me rolling. Comedian, actress, all things beautiful, funny, plus-size model, which I'm going to try to convince her to get back into. But I see you guys over here in our YouTube chat. Definitely sending love. Thank you so much. Penny Thompson says, Takara, if you do a tour and come to Alabama or Birmingham, I am there. You are awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Andy?
You know, you're introducing her as a plus-size model, right?
Well, that was like after everything else.
Understood.
Mhm.
But there was something that you posted about last week on Instagram. We talked about it on the Raw Report. Do you remember?
You tapped in.
I'm just curious to know what
Okay.
Mr. Carr's opinion is on that.
This is really good,
Do it.
actually.
Go for it.
Let me just get your opinion on this.
Go for it.
I saw a woman driving here. I saw a woman, and she was working out. She was jogging down the street, but she was taking a break. A plus-size woman, and she was so fly to me. She had on her tights, her sports bra. I mean, she had it all on blast, though. She wasn't trying to hide anything. I loved it. She was beautiful. So much so where I stopped and took note of her. You know what I'm saying? Glistening. I mean, she was a baddie. Anyway,
Okay.
so
I
I
love
went
that.
to Instagram, did a whole video, and I was like, I saw this woman, and I'm just thinking, how do you have the confidence that you do? Like, I want that type of confidence to just be out here. I was like, because I have insecurities, and I'm not sure what I'd be willing to put out there. Well, everybody else was like, yeah, like, I agree. You know, everybody was kind of chiming in on it. And a woman came on my page, and she basically was just like, so you're insinuating, or you're trying to insinuate that she doesn't, or she has flaws or something to be embarrassed about anyway. Like, what are you trying to say? And I was like, I don't get how you're turning something that's meant for positivity into something negative. So I was just wondering.
What did you say again? You said, I wonder how she has so much confidence to come outside knowing that.
No, I was just like, girl, you have so much confidence. I want confidence like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just giving her props.
Love, yeah. And somebody else turned it into a negative.
Yeah.
I think a lot. What are you asking me? How I would have taken that? Or what would it have been like?
She was sort of speaking up for all plus-sized women.
The woman who said, you're insinuating that she has flaws.
Yeah.
Well, because we all do.
Yeah.
And I think that when we all walk outside, there's something about us that we don't like. Did you get what I'm saying? So I think that when you said, I don't understand how she can just walk outside with just so much confidence and just love herself.
Well, I didn't say it that way. It was more like, girl, you bad. Like, you got confidence like that. Like, I want confidence like that. It was more like that. Like, not like, I don't get how you can come outside. It wasn't that. It was more like,
I want the confidence. I mean, because to me, it's all subjective. Like, I want the confidence to show my shoulder. You got a fly ass shoulder. I hate my goddamn shoulder. But me saying, I want the confidence to show my shoulder the way you show your shoulder, they're going to say, well, what's wrong with her showing her shoulder? So I think that a lot of times with social media, some people just take everything so personal.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So in regards to just you trying to show this woman some love and possibly be even in a space where you've gotten other women that's like, well, shoot, I need to get that confidence too to go outside. It's not insinuating that somebody has flaws. It's insinuating that they don't care about what you think or what the world thinks. And I think that's more of what you were saying.
Yeah.
How can I get in a space where I don't care about what the person driving down the street thinks? Or
Absolutely.
the fact that my booty may jiggle a little more than I'd like it to in these pants. Or the fact that my boob almost knocked me out when I was getting across the street. How can I get to a place where mentally knowing that other people are going to have an opinion doesn't bother me?
Absolutely.
That's what I got from what you had said.
Thank you, Takara. Well said. Well said. That was perfect.
Yeah, okay.
That was perfect. So thank you. So Andy, that was a great person. He's feeling you too.
That lady just trash. Whoever said that,
I was like, you don't even know me.
She
You
probably
don't even
looked
know
at you
me.
and was like, oh, she cute.
What could I say?
Yeah,
To ruffle her feathers.
Yeah, I'm gonna ruffle her feathers.
Yeah.
And you know what? Ruffle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Look at my shoulder, girl.
I ruffle them myself. You know, look. Don't bother me.
Yes, perfectly stated. Okay, so you are, I don't know if you all know this, but you are one of the finalists. You were one of the finalists on NBC's Bring the Funny.
Yes, that was crazy.
One of the see, I have to ask you about this. You were featured on BET's, the new BET's Comic View.
Yes.
You are doing the things that all the comedians want to do. And I don't even want to say like, as a woman, I just feel like funny is funny across the board.
Yeah.
To me, there is no differentiating. So how do you feel about the fact that people are saying comics can't really be comics anymore? Like everybody's sensitive. You got to watch what you say. I mean, how do you feel about that? Is it like, are you watching it change? as you go out, and do you consider that like when you're doing your material?
Yes and no, and more so no, because it just depends on what your material is about.
Yeah.
I do talk about my daughter on stage. Sometimes I do reference her as the B word, because sometimes that's what she act like. And people are offended. I've gotten messages, people like, oh my God, I'm offended. I can't believe you said that about your daughter. And I'm like, well, how old's your daughter? My daughter's 10. Shut up. You know nothing yet.
Go through some things first.
In 6 years, call me, and then we'll have a conversation. My son, he's 4. You shut up too.
Yeah. And also, this is your experience with your daughter.
But it's not just my experience with my daughter. It's a lot of people's experience with their children. We love our kids. Yes. Yeah. Are we there for our kids? Yes. Are our kids... Yes, sometimes. Do we have moments where we're just like, I can't, or I feel? I think that what we feel and expressing it is normal. I don't express that to my daughter, and I don't treat her that way. But sometimes that's what I feel. So I do accept and understand that there will be backlash. And I think that's the most difficult part of it, is just knowing that I know what's going to happen. I know that there's a possibility that somebody's going to get offended. I'm prepared for you to be offended. I probably don't care, but I'm prepared if you are. Do I see comedy changing? I see it trying to. I've always been a kind of roll and do what I want and do how I want it to do it. But I'm also very mindful of what I am saying and how I'm saying it. But I don't necessarily talk about those crazy topics anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense. Critic Chronicles and YouTube says teenage girls go through it with their mom for a few years.
Yeah, fight them in the face. In the face. Hard.
The Forrest Harrison says, sliding this money across the desk. Robin and Takara, this is for you.
Well, thank you. Let me put it in my bra. I appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us about NBC's Bring the Funny. You said that was an interesting, you said that was a crazy experience. How was it?
NBC Bring the Funny was really interesting because it was my first competitive comedy competition, if you would say it was that. I didn't realize there were so many different dynamics of comedy. I was just interested in stand-up comedy, but there's improv, there's groups, there's impersonations, and you're going up against 50 acts.
Wow.
And of all different sorts of comedy. And because comedy is so subjective, we're doing this in front of America.
Yeah.
And some people love things, and some people hate things, and some people dislike things, and you just don't know where you are going to fall. And when I went in it, and they told me it was, it's a national TV show. It's across America. It airs. It's like doing insane on the our expectations of the show are very high. You want to win over America. And when they told me that, I said, I got to be a mom to win over them, which is me. I'm a mom.
Yeah.
But I got to talk about stuff that everyone can relate to. Even if you're not a mom, you're an auntie, you're a big sister to you've experienced children. So I just talked about what it was like being a mom, and it captured America. So out of 50 acts, I made it to the final 2.
Wow.
And,
wow. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's major.
Yeah. And then a group, I forgot their name, they won, which is great.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those situations where I didn't win, but I won.
Yeah. Get into the mic.
Oh. Hello? Okay. It's one of those situations where I didn't win, but I won.
You won. Yeah.
So I'm kind of happy I didn't win that and at number 1, but I still won.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that.
Have you ever experienced like a type of, what is the word? What is it? When you're imposter syndrome, where you're like, okay, all these people are doing it on a different level. I'm about to go to, level to level to level, which is what you've been doing. You've been on television now. You've been on all the stages. Have you ever felt like that? I know sometimes just in my career, and I talk about this a lot, which is one of my topics that I love, how people overcome even feeling that way, where it's just like, okay, all these people, when you're dealing with big names, and I consider you a big name as well.
Thank you.
But yourself, like, do you ever feel like that? Like, and then how do you get over it if you have?
Do I feel like I'm not me? Is what you're asking?
Do you ever feel like, how am I here? How am I?
Oh, every day.
Yeah.
Every day I feel like, how am I here?
Yeah.
How did I get here?
Yeah.
What did I say?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Yeah.
And some, but you know, it's just I never forget my process. I think I don't know if that's necessarily answering the question, but just to keep myself grounded and remember who I am, I never forget the process. Oftentimes, people get to a certain level of success, which I'm nowhere near where I want to be, and they forget their process. They forget what they fought for. They forget what they lost. They forget how many times they cried. They forget when they didn't eat. They forget when people didn't believe in them, or their kids were mad and said, "Why you can't go back to being a teacher? I like when you had a regular job." And now they love the fact that I do stand up, because now they want to pursue the things that they want to do that they weren't sure if they could, because it's not normal.
That's awesome.
And just remembering, you know, the process has been insane for me. And I know you said earlier, you know, things are just taking off, and I'm just like, oh my God, I've lost so much, you know, like in the process. And that's for me, that belongs to me. But every time when people say that, I'm just like, I'm glad that that's what it looks like, because it should look easy. If it looked hard, nobody would do it.
Yeah.
Before you realize how difficult it is, you're already in the middle of it and you love it, and you're not going to stop now. But to get there was just,
I get
and
that.
I just don't forget. So anytime I feel like I don't know who I am, or where am I, or what am I doing here, I remember I'm supposed to be here. And then I remind myself how hard I worked to get here. And then I remind myself that this is not the end. Like, there's so much more to go.
And I believe that for you.
Yeah.
When we come forward, I still have to know, we have a few minutes left with Takara, but we have to talk about your tour. We have to talk about how Katt Williams' tour, the Dark Matter tour, is going, because I got to know.
Baby, I'm having a time.
Okay. You're going to tell us about it on the other side. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Eric Bellinger, hanging out right here with my family at the Raw Report. Keep it locked.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's the farewell tour. Maze featuring Frankie Beverly, and KBLA wants to send you and the special mom in your life Sunday, May 12th at the Kia Forum.
Make sure I'm right, girl, before I let go.
Also featuring soul icon Anthony Hamilton.
You're the best of me. Amazing, amazing, amazing.
And After 7. It's a Mother's Day celebration you won't forget. Listen in for your chance to win tickets. And don't forget to wear white. It's the farewell tour with Maze featuring Frankie Beverly.
City of Los Angeles landlords, verify your tenant's Emergency Renters Assistance Program status today. Tenants approved for rental assistance are protected from eviction for non-payment of rent through May 31st, 2024. Approved rental assistance applications protect tenants from eviction for non-payment of rent. Refusing to accept rental assistance based on their source of income is illegal under law and can be used as a defense in an eviction case. Check your tenant's application status now at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org. KBLA
Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA Can believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Raw
Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
We are having ourselves a great time with Takara Williams. Listen, we only have a few minutes left, but there's still so much to talk about. I do want to ask you about your experience on Katt Williams' tour. All right, Dark Matter tour.
Yeah.
How is that going?
First of all, I am humbled every single weekend. I am performing in front of people that I've looked up to. Before I even started comedy, Monique is on the tour.
Wow.
And she's like adopted me.
Mm-hmm.
I love her. She hosted one of the events because the host was out, and she brought me up, and this was her first time, I think, seeing my entire set. And before I could even get off the stage, we're passing each other, and I'm just giving her back the mic, and she said, "You tore that motherfucker down." Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
The mother. I said mother duck down, and she said, "You tore that thing down." And then
that would be Mo, right?
Yeah. And then when we met up backstage after she brought the next comedian, she said, "I'm so proud of you. Oh my goodness, you are going." She said, "I ain't even got no words."
Wow.
So just hearing that from her is insane. And then Katt, just every time I get off stage, he's just got something like, "Would you save some for the rest of us?"
Yeah.
And he's just such an awesome person. And then we have Little Mo on the tour. We have Tommy Davidson, who I love. We have Mark Curry, who I love. We got Miss Pretty Ricky. We got Zoo Man. We got Red Grant. We have Little Mo, the recording artist. She sings, she performs. And it's just I've never toured with a man before because I've always been afraid of the stigma that comes with touring with male comics. And even when I got asked to do this, I was a little skeptical. And my agent was just like, "Well, we have all these other people." I said, "Oh, it's like a family." And she said, "Yeah, it's gonna be fun," and it is.
Wow.
And I've made so many friends. I've made so many I've created this family where we're all hanging out after the tour, and I'm just glad my first tour was with him, and it was so. Thank you, shout out to Katt Williams, shout out to everybody on the tour, the Dark Matter tour. I absolutely love you guys. It's been an amazing experience.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I have to find my way.
Yeah.
All right. But if I don't find my way there, I have to find my way to your own tour.
Yeah.
Okay. You're starting off in Atlanta.
Yeah.
May 17th through the 19th.
Yeah.
Tell us about this tour of yours.
So I was already on tour.
Okay.
And when my publicist brought this offer to me from Katt Williams, I said, okay. So we rescheduled all of my tour dates.
Okay.
And the name of my tour is called Life After Divorce, because I'm divorced. And I know a lot of people are like, well, what's that like? You can still live after divorce. It's about figuring out who you are again and figuring out your boundaries, blah, blah, blah. So it's called the Life After Divorce tour. We do kick off in Atlanta. So far we have Atlanta, we have Cleveland, Ohio, we have the Bay Area coming up. So I'm going to be in Abu Dhabi.
Woo, you out here doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
Yeah. So make sure that you guys just go on my website. It's Tacarra.com. And you just click calendar. All the dates will pop up. And just come out and show some love. Like, it's a good time. Mika J, who is my best friend, she is also an LA native.
Okay.
She's my opener.
Shout out Mika J.
Yes. And it's a 2-man show. It's just the two of us. And, and her set is so funny. She's married to a pastor. But she crazy. Okay? And I think that's what the dynamic of us is, just so much fun. So you just make sure that you come out, show some love. The tour is going to be amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And people are it says every Friday. Are you still every Friday on CW's Totally Funny Kids?
Yes. Every
on.
Friday we have a show. I have a show that comes on every Friday on CW called Totally Funny Kids. And when we think of Totally Funny Kids, we want to think of America's Home Funniest Videos with Bob Saget. Rest in peace to Bob Saget. He's amazing. But only this time I'm the Bob Saget. And the show is just clips of kids doing wild, crazy things. And it's a fun show, a family show. And I think that's amazing because we haven't had a family show that you can sit down on a Friday night and watch with your children without telling them to cover their eyes or cover your ears because there's some slight inappropriateness to the show. It's all family, all fun, for all generations every Friday night. Check your local listings on the CW, and it's called Totally Funny Kids. And I think my favorite part about it is that my 10-year-old watches it religiously.
Oh, that's
on
awesome.
Fridays,
That's
and then
awesome.
she watches it again on Sundays when it airs again.
Oh, really?
And all her little 4th grade friends watch it, and it's just, she's so proud, and she's like, "That's my mom."
What does that feel
Yeah.
like for your kids to be like, my mom is that girl?
Accomplished. If I don't feel accomplished in anything else in life, and if I never go any further in my career than where I am now, I'm good.
Oh my good. From mom to mom, I got to give you some on that.
I'm good.
That is really
My kids are proud.
amazing.
You know, they love what I do. They feel supported and they feel loved, and they don't mind saying, they're not embarrassed in any way. They're like, "That's my mom," you know?
Oh, okay. Is it Dee or did? I'm going to say Dee Nelson says, Takara, I've been following your content since the pandemic. I used to wait for your vlog every week with
it's coming
bated
back.
breath. Your journey and the props and flowers you're getting in this season. Okay, they love your journey. So that's awesome. Yeah, you guys, make sure that you follow her. That's just Takara.
Takara.com.
Takara.com.
Yeah.
I'm going to spell it out like Homeboy did on your Tacarra.
He spelled out his first name, last name, zip code, area code. I'm like, child.
Y'all got to go on her page to see what we're talking about. Takara, what's next for you?
Oh, what's next for me? Hopefully what's next, we've been in the works of a TV show that is created around me and very closely to my life. I don't know if you know this. I'm the 3rd oldest of 8 kids. And I think that's where the quick, this comes from with comedy.
Yeah.
And improv is just, I ate my food like this.
Yeah.
So that's how I should have drank my water. It's an inside joke.
True that.
But we have a show that I've created. I have several shows that I created, and we're in the talks with a couple of networks now about getting those shows on television. Okay. And hopefully within the upcoming year or 2, you'll see me on your television screen starring in my own TV show, and hopefully I'll have my kids.
Listen,
my co-stars.
Raw Squad, I hope that you have enjoyed this interview as much. It's been more of a conversation, just getting to know this beautiful woman. Make sure that you follow her. Go and check out that Katt Williams Dark Matter tour. Make sure that you check her out on tour. Atlanta started going back in Atlanta May 17th through the 19th. I just want to give you your flowers real quick and just give you your props. You are truly one of the funniest to do it, and thank you for the many laughing tears you've brought me over the years. So thank you so much. You got to make sure that you come back to the Raw Report and hang out with me.
We're going to carpool.
We're going to carpool next time. We're going to carpool next time. You guys, make sure that you stay tuned for Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, coming with a fire show like he always does. My name is Robin Ayers. You guys remember, today and every single day forward, be a blessing.